The movie starts with Jackson seeing a therapist because he's a hopeless romantic. He believes that he got commitment issues, and he stated that he's 29, his 30th birthday is coming up soon, and he pretty much wants to be in a long-term relationship. His therapist pretty much give him advice to be put himself in the friend zone, and pretty much see what happened there. She told him to do the assignment that night, but he said that he couldn't because he had to go and shoot hoops with his homeboys. So besides being bad in hoop, Jackson's friends, Brian, Derek, and Terry, they were all successful in their respective careers, but they was all allowing women to be the center of their lives. Terry was doing it by being a player. He was just chasing women. Derek was doing it because he was just being a doormat to his wife. And Brian, he was upset with women because that he had mother issues. But that day, Terry wanted his homeboys to go out with him that night because he had a big surprise. Pretty much he wanted to tell him something. So Terry surprised the fellas with an announcement that he's engaged to a woman that he has only known for 2 months. He pretty much was stating that he's a one-woman's man. But I just want to know, is love at first sight a real thing, or is it really lust at first sight? You know, for that big of a commitment, I think he might need more than 2 months. So Brian ended up saying something slick to Terry and his fiance. So Terry gets upset and checks Brian for the comments that he made and just said, "Hey man, just be happy for me." The following day, Jackson meets Denise, and I felt like during this conversation, Jackson was leading with his wallet. He pretty much was letting her know he's a doctor and pretty much his profession. But, you know, they kind of kicked it off, and one thing led to another. And that day, they ended up back at Jackson apartment. Meanwhile, Derek is frustrated with his wife because she's not giving him any knowledge. He explained to her that he be giving her wisdom, but she said, "I don't even ask you to do that, so don't even make me feel bad for something I don't ask you to do." But take a listen to this conversation. Listen how this go.
Can't.
Now see, I do it to you.
But I don't ask you to.
You do not stop me either.
Okay, well, so if I would you suck it?
What kind of question is that? You ain't no man and I ain't no woman.
Just answer the question. If I had would you suck it?
Yes, yes.
Then we head back over to Jackson and Denise where, you know, this is still their first encounter with each other, but Jackson already pillow talking, telling her his innermost, deepest secrets and thoughts, and pretty much like, this is that Samson and Delilah effect. I think they were just moving entirely too fast.
Denise, I hope you don't feel nervous about us, doing it like this on the first date.
Why would I be nervous?
No, actually, the only reason why I brought that up is because I kind of have this issue.
What's that?
Well, it's like, it's...
And I don't know what the time frame was, but it appears like in the movie the next day, Jackson takes Denise to meet his family. And that's when, you know, the audience get to find out that actually Denise used to date his father. And I feel like, and at this point, the dad was wrong because I feel like he should have told his son. He listened to Denise instead. Like, he was going to give her time to tell him, but I felt like they had a conversation. He could have been like, "Hey, son, me and Denise had history." You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to go into full detail. He could have just told him that way. But, you know, with him holding out like that, I think that was kind of wrong. Then we get to see the conversation between Brian and his mother. And this conversation opened up our eyes to why Brian has an issue with women, because he wasn't getting the love that he wanted to get from his mother, because his mother was upset with the men that she had children with, that she would actually take out a lot of anger on them as far as not showing them affection. So she wouldn't even give Brian or his brother any type of hugs or kiss. Here, just take a look.
You know what? The both of you is just like your daddies. Full of it.
I done heard that my whole life. How long you gonna look at us and see them? I know what they did is wrong, Mama, but me and Tyrell, we didn't do it. Can we get a little love?
I raised you. That's love.
Oh, really? Then prove it, Mama. Can you give your son a kiss and a hug?
Too old for that now.
Mama, when was the last time you gave me a hug? What was it, 10 years ago? What, right after Tyrell's father left? Mama, 10 years is a long time.
Then we see Derek at a nursing home or a senior center, but I mean, he's over there talking to his mom, letting her know that, hey, he's gonna let her come and live with him and his wife, and pretty much like she has a home there, and she's gonna be leaving a nursing home or wherever she's at pretty soon. We see Brian out on a date, and pretty much a woman that he had history with comes up and pretty much tries to pretty much hate on his date. They end up having an altercation, and at the end of that date, Brian is pretty much he's not dating anyone at all. He pretty much is a single man. Well, he's been single, but I mean, he ain't got nobody at the end of that once that whole situation unravels. So back over at Derek's household, you know, his wife wants some action, but he's still upset because she ain't giving him any knowledge. And then also he break down the news to her that his mama is gonna be coming to live with them. She gets upset because she don't want the mama there. And to be honest, I think this be happening in reality where like the girl or the wife don't really be liking the mama, be talking crazy, but then you know what I'm saying, the husband and boyfriend be kind of going along with it. It's wild. There's a lot of gems in this movie right here. There's a lot of gems that's being spread, and I think a lot of these things be happening today. But, you know, he tell her like, hey, you know what I'm saying, hey, he's standing up for himself, his mama moving in, and then pretty much that scene ends there. And we back at Jackson and Denise, and Jackson at this time, he is opening up for Denise, is letting her know like, hey, he's in love with her. And I think it only at this time point when he's spreading all this love, it's only been 3 weeks of them knowing each other, and he just moving too fast because he don't even know like she had history with his dad at this time. That's why I say you gotta pump the brakes. You gotta pump them brakes, slow down, get to know a person. You know what I'm saying? Don't move too quick. And the Jackson issue was he wanted to be in a committed relationship because he was about to be turning 30 soon.
So I want you to know, Denise, that I am not afraid of a good woman and all that she can bring to a man. And I'm not afraid to tell you I love you, Denise.
So then the ladies all kind of get together and meet with each other. So you got Denise, Louise, that's Jackson's mother. Then you got Sherry, who's Jackson's sister, Terry's fiance, and Sheila. They all kind of meet, give each other bad advice. Pretty much Terry's sister, Sherry, she's going to be talking about giving like some feminist views. And then Sheila's going to be saying that pretty much she got to stand up to her husband and pretty much put him in his place because that's how they get their happiness, even though that Derek is miserable and Louise, Jackson's mother, just give out some terrible advice. Here, just listen to it. Just listen.
I love my brother, but if he's giving you mixed messages, just tell him to get his shit together.
Ooh, that was my baby that said that.
And you know she's right. That's what I do to Derek. That's why we're so happy. You gotta stand up to him. No. This is a new century. You know, women are saying goodbye to dependency. I don't need a man. I have myself.
A woman is strength. Not just the giver of life and all that, but more. You see, men don't even know who they are until they know what kind of woman they want. Or for that matter, if they even want a woman.
So the fellas is over at Terry's bachelor's party. And at this bachelor's party, Derek, he tries to talk to one of the dancers, but he couldn't go through with it because his wife was on his mind. And then Terry and Brian have a serious conversation. And pretty much like Brian is questioning why is Terry getting married. Terry gets upset and said the reason he's doing it because he's growing up. And he suggests that he does the same. And to be honest with you, I kind of was on Brian's side on that one because, you know, he only had known the woman that he was engaged with for a few months. And I think that Brian may have been looking out for him. And I think they was kind of pushing the marriage situation because they was about to be 30 years old. And, you know, they was just, I don't know if it was a milestone that they had to do before they was 30, but it was just moving too fast. Terry, along with Jackson. Also at the bachelor's party, Brian and Jackson is having a conversation in Jackson's dad's room because Jackson's dad allowed them to have his spot so they can have the bachelor's party. So while he's in the room checking out some CDs, he's about to leave. Then he hear Denise on the answer machine saying, hey, she about to tell Jackson something. So he ain't understand what she wanted to tell Jackson. So when he went back home, he went to confront her, you know what I'm saying? He was kind of really in his feelings and kind of sorry about the situation. But then he gonna ask her this question.
Okay, you want an answer?
Yeah, I want an answer.
All right, here you go. Fred and I met a long time ago, went out on a few dates, but we did not have sex, okay?
You didn't have sex?
No.
Did you kiss him?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Throughout that conversation, I heard Jackson crying like this. And then I just seen Denise laughing in his face just like this. It was crazy. But he was just moving too fast.
I still love you.
So check her out, get weak on him, though. Just watch him. Just laughing at him. Gotta slow down sometimes. So Jackson, he was just so salty and heartbroken that he didn't like the answer. So he went to go see his mama, and his mama was still even riding for Denise. So at this point, he kind of salty because like both the women that he loved, cool with his daddy. So he ain't really like that at all. So So he started getting upset with his dad. So Jackson was giving a surprise 30th birthday party, and his daddy went to check on him, seeing was he cool. He like, hey son, you kind of been moping around. So then Jackson jumped fly with his daddy, and his daddy was like, hey, kind of been drinking a little bit, but he doing this all over because over the woman he only known for like a few months. You know what I'm saying? He had like his daddy did do something wrong. His daddy should have told him up front. They should have been up front. That was the thing that his daddy did wrong. You know what I'm saying? But then, Jackson started tripping. He was giving me a lot of Mario Winans vibe. And then Jackson daddy went on ahead and danced with his mama while he was staring at him. They was cutting up. But like I said, moving too fast. So now these guys is kind of down on their luck. Right now they all kind of went out. Like Jackson is mad that his dad got history with Denise. And also he's still kicking it with his mom. Then you got Brian, he's upset because, he still ain't getting that love from his mother. And at the same time, he ain't been with his girl. And then Derek, he's actually going through a process to be divorced. And what makes even matters worse, they see their girls come in there with the new guys that they dating. So them guys kind of sit there and moping a little bit. But, hey, that's how the movie goes. So Derek is finalizing his divorce over issues that I believe was happening before he even got married. I feel like his wife never liked his mom from the start, and I feel like she wasn't even doing the stuff in the bedroom he wanted before they even got married. But hey, that's what happened. So at this time, Terry is having second thoughts about getting married. He's having cold feet. Then he goes over there to talk to Jackson about what's going on.
It's just cold feet, man. You'll get over that.
It's not cold feet, I'm telling you. I'm not ready, Jay.
Terry, why? Why? I mean, you're supposed to have your shit together, man.
I know. I don't know, man. I think I was doing this because I was trying to make myself believe I could move on with my life.
So the guys link up to shoot some hoops and talk about the problems they was having in their relationships. Jackson revealed that Denise was talking to his daddy. Derek let him know that he wasn't getting any knowledge in his relationship. And Terry was letting him know that he was having cold feet. But I feel like when Brian said something, he said something real, they all jumped on his case. Hey, take a look at this.
Ain't no laws, Jack. I mean, she boned your father. She's a hoe.
No, man, what the fuck is wrong with you? You didn't say this do nothing talking about.
I'm just telling the truth out here. I'm just keeping it real, man. Why I can't speak my mind? I got shit to say out here tonight.
You ignorant.
So Derek going to link up with his ex-wife while she was at work. He was pretty much like trying to see what she been up doing and things like that. But then she kind of says to him like, hey, I just want to let you know that I ain't know how good I had until now. Then he ended up taking her back. You kind of can see the look on his face, what he was going to do. You know what I mean? That's his life. Then there was shots being fired over at Brian's house. Then you find out that it was actually Terry's fiance that he called it off at the wedding for, shooting the shots. Then you got Jackson go out there to talk to her. She don't even know what he's talking about, but somehow he actually mend things, make things better. And then like Terry and his ex-fiance kind of become cool again. She put the gun down. Then out of nowhere, Jackson's parents is getting married again. I guess that when Jackson was talking crazy to his daddy said that he taught some sense to him, so he'll do right by a woman. I ain't never get that. I ain't understand that part. While at the wedding, Jackson runs across Denise because Denise was invited to his parents' wedding by his mother. His mom invited her to the wedding. But then, so he runs across her, and then, you know what I'm saying, she ain't understand. She was, like, on the edge, and then he lightweight was bagging her. Then he ended up giving her the last piece of his cake, and then that she knew that he was in love because earlier in the film, Jackson's mother was just saying that, hey, if a man give you the last piece of something, that means that they love you. So she took that as love, and then that was the last scene of the movie. But to be honest, this is actually one of my favorite movies to watch. It came out in 2001. It's a real good movie. Like I said, it got a lot of debate material that's in there. So if you guys got some free time, take a look at it and enjoy it.